to listen to music, feel free to find a playlist of your own and play it in the background. We're going to start in our comfortable seated position. And just use this time to focus on ourselves and our body. Hopefully you were able to enjoy the outdoors this weekend, the beautiful scenery, beautiful weather. Let's keep our eyes relaxed and start to bring those shoulders into a forward roll. I really want you to take note of each side. Are you able to complete your circle? Is one side a little bit more difficult? You may find it a little difficult to squeeze behind you, control, but really try to focus on completing your circle. And let's go ahead and reverse that circle. Again, I really want you to slide those shoulders back, exaggerate the movement, even if it feels a little funny. For me, my right side's a little bit trickier than my left. You may have one of those sides too. That's why it's good to practice. Go ahead and complete that last rotation. And let's bring that movement up through our neck. Go ahead and start in the front, rolling that chin through the center. And feel free to take that into a full rotation when and if you're ready. All right, let's bring that chin back to center. I want you to keep your hips on the floor. So if you're on a pillow, you can stay there. Or if you have your hips on the floor, I want you to keep them there as you reach forward. Let's lengthen through the spine here. Take those hands from side to side. Bring your hands back to center, walk them towards your body. I'm going to confuse you a little bit and I'm going to have you switch your top leg in your crisscross position. So it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. We're going to do the same thing and just walk those hands forward. When you're ready, walking those hands side to side. And bringing those hands back to center. Very good. Let's go ahead and shift onto all fours. So swinging those feet behind us. Knees in line with our hips. Wrists in line with our shoulders. We're just going to sink into our shoulder blades and push away from the floor. Start here. The next time you push away from the floor, I want you to tuck your chin into your chest. And when you sink into those shoulders, open your chin. Continue that movement. It's going to feel natural to allow that spine to follow into your cat-cow. Let's go ahead and allow that movement. But still kind of focusing on that shoulder movement. Completing your last exhale. Let's go ahead and sit back on a child's pose. Give those shoulders a little bit of a break. I don't know if it's from the stand-up paddleboarding that I did this weekend or what, but my shoulders are a little more sore than they normally are. Could have been from my workout yesterday as well. Inhale, let's shift our weight forward. Taking a big step forward with your right foot, tongue twister there. And let's let those hips drop to the floor. Take your time as you allow your hips to open. Pushing your hips back, pulling your toes up towards your shin, leading forward with your chest. Let's shift our weight back forward, bring those hips towards the floor, tucking our back toe under. Let's go ahead and lift that knee off the floor. We're going to keep that left hand placed on the mat as you raise that right arm so your chest is facing that front leg. Let's try to place as little weight on that left arm as you can. Keep everything nice and light here. Placing that hand on the inside of that right foot, let's step back into your plank. Gently release your knees. And let's bring that left foot forward. Same thing as we push those hips back. Take your time here. Pushing your hips back as you bring your toes up towards your shin. Again, leaning forward with your chest. Shifting our weight forward, bringing those hips back down. Right hand stays flat on the floor as you tuck that back knee or back toe under, lifting your knee off the floor and raising that left arm up. Again, chest is facing that front leg with little weight on that right arm. Let's try to keep it light as possible. Placing that left hand on the inside of that front foot, stepping back into your plank. Let's release to those knees and sit back on your heels for child's pose. Feel free to rock those hips side to side. Gently release that forehead to your mat. With your fingertips reaching forward, I want you to just bring those hands off the floor if you can and release. And just lift off the floor, squeeze and release. This is a difficult movement, so if you're not quite there, gives you something to work towards. It's a challenge. If you are getting it and you want to add even more of a challenge, you can raise those arms, tuck those elbows towards your body, extend out in front of you, and release. Doing that a few more times. Don't feel bad if you're still working on getting those hands off the floor. This is a difficult movement. Especially for us that are working at our desk, at our computer all day. These posterior upper body muscles are sometimes hard to reach. That's why we're working on them now. Go ahead and finish off this last one. Shift your weight forward. Let's go ahead and tuck those toes under, lift those knees up, hips back, downward dog. Inhale, bring your gaze towards your hands. Exhale, hop or step those feet forward. Slight bend through the knees as we roll into standing. Head is always last to come up. Taking a deep breath here at the top. Exhale our arms to our sides. Let's go ahead and work on our balance pose. So we're going to do our tree today. It's been a while since we've done that. So if you need to hold on to something, you can get a chair or a desk or a couch, something nearby, or if you want to, or even a wall. Or if you want to try it without, I'll give you a few options, give you your steps. So for now, I want you to think on the balls of your feet right under your big toe, under your little toe, and your heel are gripping the floor. So it's a tripod. I'll let you pick your starting leg. Grip that floor. Your toes are also being used. Grip the floor. Core and glutes are squeezing and lifting one knee off the floor. We're going to start here. Notice my chest is open, shoulders are pulled back. From here, we're going to keep our hip bones facing forward as we open our knee out to the side and place the inside of your foot on your leg. So you can choose to put that foot on the floor for support. You can put it on your calf, or you can put it on your thigh. What I don't want you to do is put it against your knee so that it's pushing your joint in the wrong direction. Take note, are your hip bones facing forward? Is the inside of your knee open? Plant that foot into the floor. It's the root of your tree. Use it to help balance. As we open, we're going to bring that knee out. So we're reversing. Knee to center and release. Shake it out. Shake out that foot, that ankle if you need to. All right, so for most of us, we probably picked our good side, even unconsciously, or more comfortable side on that one. So for most of us, this one's going to be a little more challenging. So I want you to take note of these steps. Find that grip, find that control. Glutes, core is engaged. Shoulders are tall. And let's bring that knee forward. Start here. Find that balance. When you're ready, you can open up the knee, keep those hips forward, and let's let the inside of our foot be placed on your leg of your choosing, again, not on your knee. If this is difficult for you, when you do this again and you watch the replay, try to release your mind of thoughts outside of what you're doing. If you're thinking about other things that might be stressing you out, it may be causing you to be a little more unbalanced than if you were focusing on the now. But if you got it, great job. Let's open it back up. Bring it to center and release. Awesome job, everyone. Shake it out. I'm going to turn again. I turn so you can see me. You might need to, you don't have to. Feet are in line with our hips. Taking a deep breath in. We're going to step back with that left foot. Right foot stays forward, high lunge. Arms reach up. If you want to take this a step further, let's bring our gaze to follow our fingertips. Some of you might even be willing to bring that back a little bit. Slow raise back to high lunge. Exhale, release your hips, knee, and ankle into warrior two. Arms stay strong here. Placing either your elbow on your forearm as that left arm reaches forward, or maybe on the floor for your extended angle. As you place that left hand on the floor, let's lift and rotate your heel behind you. We're going to take that left foot and take a big step forward into our forward fold and hold here for a few breaths. Go ahead and wag your tail. You can nod your head yes. Kind of release any tension you might have here. Slight bend through the knees as we roll into standing. Head always is last. Taking a deep breath here at the top. Exhale, arms to your sides. All right, doing that same thing on the other side. This time, left foot stays forward, right foot steps back into high lunge. Make sure that heel behind you is not rotating in. You want your heel, knee, and hip to all be facing forward. Again, for those of you who are up for the challenge, let's bring our gaze to follow our fingertips. Some of you might even want to take that back a little bit further. Slow lift back. And exhale as you release that hip, knee, and ankle into your warrior two. As you release, you can choose to release that left elbow to your knee, right arm reaches forward, or maybe you're placing that hand down to the floor. As you release that right hand to the floor, make sure you lift and rotate that heel behind you. Big step back into plank. Gently release those knees. Let's sit back into child's pose. Use this time to recenter, to reset. Whether you're finding your breath, you're rocking your hips side to side, or you're rolling out your wrists. This is your you time. Let's bring those hands to our shoulders. Use them to press ourselves up. So we're gonna stay seated back on our heels. So I want you to focus on those quads right now. Your ankles may be your limiting factor in this position. So if this is putting too much pressure on your quads or your ankles, you may want to take a pillow and place it between your bottom and your ankles. If you can sit here comfortably without compromising with that chest reaching forward, go ahead and lean back a little bit. You can use your hands. Again, your quads are what we are focusing right now. So the front side of our thighs. Some of you may be lucky enough where you don't feel this at all. Just take that as a blessing. If you're not already lifted, go ahead and lift back up. I'm just turning so you can see me. You don't have to turn. Let's go ahead and bring that left arm forward or up by your ear. Right arm is going to reach for that wrist. Gently pull up and over. Notice how my spine or my head's not moving. I'm just gently tugging on that arm. Bring it back to center. Let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. Hold on to that wrist, lift and reach. Very good. Let's bring it back to center. Shake it out, wiggle it out. We are going to shift onto our backs. So you might want to shake it out here. Roll, walk out those ankles, your feet. We're going to release to the floor. You can use your hands. You don't have to. We're going to do a little bit of core before we cool down with those hips. We've done this. You've done this with me before, but it's really good practice. So placing your fingers right above your hip bones, right around your hip bone area, the inside. Feet are flat on the floor. As you exhale, I want you to feel, so press that lower back into the floor and feel that deep abdominal muscle, your transverse abdominals, press into your fingers. You can kind of play with that a little bit. Another fun fact some of you have already heard from me is that there's no such thing as lower abs, but there are such thing as deeper abs. So typically when you're saying you want to work lower abs, most people are hoping to work on those deeper abs, which are your transverse abdominals, which is what we're working on right now and what you're feeling right now. All right, I want you to hold that contraction or hold that press and see if you can keep that control as you bring your feet off the floor. Some of you might have to do one foot at a time. Some of you might be able to do both. What I want you to take note of is if your knees are over your hips, you're kind of cheating here. So I want you to keep those knees out in front of you. That may mean that you need to modify with one foot. If you can control this with both feet, let's bring those arms overhead or over your shoulders. Control here. As you exhale, let's extend one arm, one leg at a time. Back to center. Extend. This entire time you're keeping that control with those deep abdominal muscles. Not letting your knee pass your hips. Exhale as you extend. This is challenging. Let's do one more on each side. So whether you're just holding it, you're still practicing on that hold. Go ahead and release. Or you're doing the full version. Don't give yourself some slack. That's a challenging move. For some of us, a new muscle that we have to learn how to engage. So make sure you're proud. All right, let's finish with those hips. Keep one knee tucked into your chest, other leg extend. Great job, everyone. Feel free to roll out those ankles if you want to. So I know a few of you leave before we finish with our closing. But before you leave, if you could just share where you are located. I know we're all working from home right now, but where your original site is located. I'm curious to see where you all are from. Some of you are from Corvallis with me. Some of you I recognize, but not all of you. Let's go ahead and extend that leg either from under your thigh, your calf, or maybe even your ankle. Just like always, we're making sure our shoulders and hips are staying on the floor. Bringing that knee back into your chest. Let's hug our opposite knee into our chest and switch over to the other side. Let's extend that heel. Start here. You're welcome to roll out your ankle if you'd like. And when you're ready, extending that leg. If you have a yoga strap or a belt or something you could use in replace, you're welcome to use that as well. Bringing that knee back into your chest, placing that foot on the floor, and extending that heel out in front of you. Let's go ahead and place those hands on either side of our body, palms facing up. Pulling those shoulders down and away from our ears. Relaxing your eyes if they are not already. And just using this as your time for you. Taking your mind and your focus strictly to your body and how you're feeling, your breaths. Take a few moments to just wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rolling over to one side, using that arm as your pillow. And taking as much time as you need to open your eyes. Slow lift back into that comfortable seated position we started in. And finishing with those deep breaths. And exhale. 2 more. And exhale. Last time, bringing our hands into prayer. Exhaling your hands to heart. Namaste. Thank you again so much for participating in our yoga class. If I've not met you before, please introduce yourself. I love to meet all of you, even though I can't meet you in person. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday, and I will see you all on Wednesday. Just a reminder, just like all of you, I have next week off, so there will be no live classes, but you are welcome to watch replays if you'd like. If you don't know where to find those, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to send you in the right direction.